Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Motivated Results. So today I'm going to continue the Nutrition 101 series that we talked about quite a while ago. If you haven't seen those, I'll link those probably here somewhere. Originally we went down and we broke down what calories, fat, protein, carbohydrates, and a breakdown on, or actually a plan, a simple plan you could do to figure out your macros and create your own diet plan. Can you freaking talk? Create your own diet plan, whether or not you're cutting or you're trying to bulk at the moment or maintain, whatever it is that your goals are. So today we're going to go a little further into this. One thing I want to talk about specifically today, and one thing that we'll go over briefly, is going to be cheat days versus cheat meals versus refeed days. And we'll touch upon those, and then you can make your decision on what you want to do for your diet and your goals. Essentially, let's start with the easiest of all of them, a cheat meal. Essentially, a cheat meal is one meal that you have in your day, maybe once a week, preferably once every 10 days, once every 15 days. You know, after a long span of cutting weight, you want to have one cheat meal where you break the rules, you don't count the macros, you don't do anything. The benefit of this is that you're probably not going to go crazy over your macros. You're going to stay pretty maintained, and you're going to have that desire quenched for non-clean, diet-friendly foods. The negatives, in my opinion, is that the idea of a refeed or idea of a cheat day is that you're going to help break your current calorie goal, your current calorie numbers, which helps with your leptin levels and helps with your metabolism. Whether or not you are hardcore about it and you go and have a crazy huge ass meal with an entree and a main course and a dessert, maybe you'll go past your normal numbers. But if you're just having one burger, it might not, and it might not help hit your numbers. So that's a negative in my opinion, which kind of rolls me into the cheat day idea. The cheat day essentially is a day where you choose to not count calories, you go buck-ass wild and you eat whatever the hell it is you want the whole day. Some people do choose to make sure that they keep the protein levels high. I usually, when I do cheat days, I do make sure that I get a decent, if not almost the level of protein that you're supposed to get. But that's a different topic altogether. Essentially, that's a day where you don't count calories, you do whatever. What ends up happening on a cheat day is essentially the additional calories, both coming from fat more likely and from carbohydrates, will help replenish your glycogen stores and also just help raise your metabolism, helping to raise your leptin levels, helping to help you burn fat once again. It's good in the sense that you get to quench your mental thirst and your mental needs for these fatty foods that you traditionally can't fit into your macros day in and day out. The negatives is that you will more likely than not see a gain in weight. Probably a good pound or two. So mentally this might be difficult for some people, because if you're trying to cut weight and you've been trying to cut weight for quite a bit, you're going to have a hard time seeing that scale and potentially your body look a little softer, a little rounder potentially. And that's something that might be a mental fuck for some people. Excuse the language. But that's the name of the game if you go with the cheat day. Theoretically, you don't want to go and cheat a tremendous amount, taking in 3-4 times your normal daily intake, because if you do go that far, you're going to have a hard time getting back to your original number before the cheat day, and then you're going to throw off the week altogether. And then you're probably going to have to push your next cheat day out. That brings us to a refeed. A refeed day is essentially a day where you maintain your protein levels fairly close to what you've been doing. You maintain your fats usually around the same area as well, but your carbohydrates get substantially increased. So you might be going, and these are just examples, you might be doing a normal cut on 200 grams of carbs, for example. On a refeed day, you're going to be doing in excess of 300, 400, 500, plus if you're crazy metabolism. And essentially this helps restore your glycogen stores so your muscles refill, and it actually helps you break that monotony as well with your metabolism and the leptin levels. So these are great because at the end of the day they're very calculated, although the downside of them is that you do have to count calories. And because your fat levels are the same, you can't just fit anything into your diet. You have to actually go in and make sure that everything is logged, make sure that you have everything in check, and make sure that you hit the carbs, but don't go over your fats, but yet don't go over your protein. So there's a little bit more involved. A lot of people tend to eat the same thing day in and day out when they're dieting, so that at the end of the week, at the end of the day, they know exactly what they're eating and how to meet the macros at the end of the day. During a refeed day, you're going to have a hard time doing that because of the high level of carbs and the very, normal level of fat and protein. Something to think about. Now with the refeed day, you might or might not see an increase in weight. I've done both, and I occasionally do both. If I feel like I'm a little too flat, if I feel like my energy levels are low, if I feel like I need a pick-me-up, or I'm just fatigued with the diet and I'm just done, I have a refeed day or a cheat day. Depending on how bad it is, I have one or the other. Depending on my current goals, depending on where my weight is, depending on how far I'm trying to reach to hit a goal, a lot of variables. I decide to go with a cheat day or a refeed day. I've gone with cheat days where I've gained a pound, 2 pounds, sometimes 3 pounds if I go a little crazy, but then within a day or two I kind of regain the original number prior to the actual cheat day. I've gone through refeed days where I've gained no weight and I just can't maintain at that level by increasing my carbs by 100, 150, give or take. So it's all up to you. It's all up to you on what you want to do, how you want to fit into your macros, what makes the most sense for you. Because keep in mind that although it is a definite satisfying feeling when you get the additional calories in your diet, it's also very much for your mental health. It's also to help you stay motivated and help you stay ready and committed to your current cut. That's essentially what these refeed or cheat days are for, to help you stay pushing forward day in and day out. So that's kind of it, guys. That's just a quick touch on cheat days versus refeed days versus cheat meals. Whatever you decide to go and do for your diet, it's up to you. I've done both, and I still continue to do both, just depending on how I feel, what it is that I need. If there's been something that I've been craving, maybe I'll wait a week or two and then do a cheat day and get it then. It's all up to you and how your body responds and how you want to do things. And quite frankly, if you have a contest to prepare for, you're more likely better off going with the one that your body reacts to because you have a deadline. If you don't have a deadline and you're just doing this for fun, then you might want to throw in a cheat day. It's all up to you and your lifestyle and whatever the goal is that you're trying to reach. And that's it, basically. If you guys have questions, comments, let me know. We'll see you guys next time. Questions, comments below.